Today's biggest news, Adani Enterprises to sell Adani Wilmar. This news is special and I'll talk more about it in Nugget section, but it is a $2 billion deal at a time when Adani Enterprises really could do with some cash. Nugget section, like I mentioned, will be about what is likely to happen in the group after this sale. Now, one specific sector that stood out after the fall today was investments. There was a huge buying witnessed in literally all the stocks after the fall. In fact, KFin Tech, which was down about 4%, that ended 5% up, making a new high, which means a recovery of nearly 10% from the bottom of the day. And nearly the entire pack was up with collective gains of 1%. Now, one company that stood out in this pack was the big boy Motilal Oswal. That was up 6%. It is now a lot closer to its 52-week high. Otherwise, these two companies, the biggest ones, HDFC AMC and Motilal Oswal, they have not moved at all for last 1 month or so. Markets were looking a lot weaker than we left them on Friday, and the situation was very different before the fall started around 12 o'clock. And at the top today, no surprises, we have Adani Enterprises taking Nifty up the most, and after a long time, we have Sun Pharma back in the green now, along with HCL Tech, Tech Mahindra and Asian Paints for a change. What we have at the bottom is the usual pack on a down day, HDFC, Reliance, Airtel, ICICI and SBI. Now, next 50 looked better than Friday. However, let me point out to one comedy here. I was calling out Bajaj Holding that I don't understand this stock at all for being so expensive. That was up 12% today. Giving it company were the Adani twins, Adani Total and Adani Power, up 11% and 7% respectively. And also towards the end, IRFC shot up 5%. Zomato, Varun Beverages, JSW Energy, they were all looking good. Overall 20 stocks up, 30 down. But look at the volumes across the pack, even for the laggards or the stocks that were going down. Exceptionally high volumes across the board. After a long time, we are seeing diversified industrial at the top. This sector is effectively only one stock, Adani Enterprises. Today at the bottom, we have the heavyweights, banking, aerospace, metals, oil and gas, automobile. Very clearly, the market breadth was in the favor of bears, quantity wise as well as the size of the fall. See here, 15 sectors up only out of 36. And all thanks to Bajaj Holdings, the huge gain today. Holding companies is at the top because of the trend and today's gain specifically. The second best, of course, was diversified industrial, which is Adani Enterprises. While we are closer to the new year, today's fall came with some good volumes. And today, if you leave out Sun Pharma and HCL Tech as outliers, nothing was looking very good today in the top 15 Nifty stocks. Bank Nifty also reflected the same sentiment. IndusInd has been trying to go up now. That is because they've decided to sell off a part of the stressed microfinance loan book, a part of it actually. In fact, a lot of companies are now putting those loans on the block. Now, I personally feel that is not a very good move because the numbers are already provisioned, and historically it has been proven that most of these NPAs come back and return their money after about 6 to 8 months. So selling this entire book at 10-15% of the price will suit the stock markets, but in the longer run is not a very good move for the company's balance sheet. Public sector banks were not very different, mostly red on high volumes. Bank of Baroda 3x, PNB 3x, SBI 2.5x volumes, Union Bank 3.5x volumes. NBFCs was an exciting place today thanks to Bajaj Holding, which was up 12%, 11x volumes. Geo Finance also 4x volumes. In fact, if you see even the stocks that were down, we see rocket against them. 6x, 5x volumes. These are REC and PFC. The greens in IT returned today. There is buzz now that the falling rupee will be better for IT stocks. I've said that many times earlier and that has already been priced in to a very large extent. I'm a bit surprised with the steep correction in auto stocks today. I would still believe there will be some buying in the top stocks tomorrow, especially two-wheelers. Auto ancillaries were bleeding. Can you imagine Exide, which is always an expensive stock, that is in the red zone. Now defense pack may rock tomorrow. mainly led by Mazgaon Dock because they have got a 2000 crore order from the ministry. Last week, GRSE got a big order from Adani Ports and they were dancing. They got 10% up that day. So you could expect anywhere between 5 to 10% kind of move, at least momentarily, in Mazgaon Dock in the morning. But this sector could get buying for the budget anytime. What is likely here is these are the people who will own the stocks ahead of the budget, and there will be people who will be selling to them at this juncture somewhere around January mid or January end. Right now, these people are buying from the existing holders. These are the ones who will let go of the stocks and book their profits for the people who will hold them till the budget part. Adani Enterprises is the only green stock in the metal pack, and Tata Steel may fall a lot tomorrow, and I'll talk about it in the dashboard later. Oil and gas, the biggest spike was in Adani Total. Power pack also, primarily the spike was in Adani Power. Most other stocks were red, and here also we see rocket volumes. See Coal India 3.7x volumes, Adani Power 3.25x volumes, Adani Energy 3.7x volumes, Tata Power 4x volumes, NTPC 3x volumes. Pharma green as usual. Lupin and Laurus Labs, they hit fresh highs. There was a big cut in Triveni today, but that is after it hit a fresh high. Can you imagine? The stock closed 10% down on the day it hit a all-time high, 6.5x of usual volumes. Now, consumption sector has no idea what to do right now. Today, Varun Beverages, that was up 3%. And with Jubilant Food, lot of people are confused because of the Coca-Cola news. Jubilant Food has not bought the Coca-Cola stake from Coca-Cola US. It is the owners of Jubilant Foods who now own the Coca-Cola stake in India. Today, Kalyan Jewellers in this pack was up a lot, 3%. That too on fantastic volumes. The stocks that have gone up a lot today in volumes, they may go on fire tomorrow because of the realization of the high volumes today. Godfrey Phillips continues to correct and correct a lot, 9% down today. This is an awful trend, and I was actually expecting that stock to go up a lot. I don't have a holding here, but my theory says if GST is increased, it will be fantastic news for ITC, Godfrey Phillips and VST India. People are throwing them right now because they feel that GST increase will not be good for these stocks. Volumes in the railway pack also were good. However, IRFC was the only stock that was up and up a lot, 5%. IRCTC hit a fresh low. IRFC also went up like a rocket in the dying moments of the day. Tata pack was mostly red. Only IHC that creates a new high every day, and Voltas with high volumes, that was up 4%. This is the Mazgaon Dock news which I was talking about. 1990 crore order from the Defense Ministry. The order is slightly bigger. The second part goes to a French company, and I am expecting a lot of orders for the United States companies starting 20th January. Now the industry is asking for higher capex and lower taxes. They can keep asking. No taxes, in my opinion, will be lowered in the new budget, including income tax. Even the 15 lakh thing, that's a speculation. I don't think anything is going to happen. Now Tata Steel's troubles are brewing. Actually, Europe is becoming troublesome for nearly everyone to acquire any business there. We might see most companies give Europe a miss in terms of M&A completely now, based upon the problems that we are seeing brewing for most companies in that area. It is easier to acquire a company. It is absolutely impossible to close that company or exit that, especially if the company is not doing well. And one more thing which is not doing well right now is Bitcoin. Actually, it has gone crazy, berserk to be precise. $2 trillion asset going up and down 4-5% every day, covering more than 10% in a day mostly. My trade for the day, I did not plan it, but I might end up with 0 reds for the month. That is also because I have not sold some of the stocks that are in red in losses. I didn't feel the need. Today also was an investment day. I bought Sun Pharma. The pattern is looking good, and this is the largest company in the pharma pack. I bought Tata Power, which I sold about 1.5 to 2 months back. This is for trading purpose. The graphs for Tata Power are looking very good. I also hid some money in Gold Bees, which is a Nippon Gold ETF. Just wanted to make sure that not too much cash is available for trading. Adani Wilmar Sale, the deal size is $2 billion. Now first let me start with a bit of background. Palm oil went crazy after pandemic and peaked in 2022. This is where India, as well as most countries that have to import palm oil for edible purposes, their edible inflation zoomed and no one was in control. 2x international prices of palm oil. This data is courtesy Trading Economics. Wilmar International, that stock price peaked in anticipation of good profit. Adani Wilmar stock price was very high from the 2022-2023 period. But when in India inflation became very high, there were moves made by government which capped prices, brought in certain regulations, and that is where suddenly Adani Wilmar stock cracked. Now most countries right now have done something to ensure that in future their food security is taken care, the prices don't go crazy, because palm oil is the cheapest edible oil used by most poor countries. That is perhaps a reason where Adani Group felt that this stock does not really fit best in the portfolio because the potential to go up is very limited. Now, if you check the promoter holding of Adani Wilmar, this is the company that holds the international stock on behalf of Wilmar, and Adani Commodities is a wholly owned subsidiary of Adani Enterprises. These two companies had equal stake of 44% each. Public held 11%. So what has happened is Adani Commodities LLP, they have sold their stake in Adani Wilmar to this particular entity. With immediate effect, the directors of this company have resigned, and now the company, this particular parent, will have a choice whether to delist the company. For that, they will have to come up with an offer to these minority shareholders. Typically, the average of last 3 months, 6 months, something like that will be worked out. RBI, NCLAT, some of them will get into it and they will have to approve. Another option would be to find a local partner, sell a bit of stake to them. I don't think they are allowed 88% holding. If they decide to go private, it will not be good news at all for this particular segment. In fact, you might see a crack or crash in the stock price of Adani Wilmar. There could be a mad sale rushing out. $2 billion will enter the balance sheet of Adani Enterprises, not any other group company. Borrowings right now stand at 80,000 crores. This is nearly $9 billion. $2 billion available to settle a bit of these borrowings is a great news for the shareholders of Adani Enterprises. This is what they all thought, that the debt will go down and profitability may get higher. At least the risk on the group reduces. Will they pay these loans? I don't think so. See, there is capital work in progress here worth 30,000 crores. There are investments available here. There are assets here. Most of these will be used to pay the EMIs this group can sustain on its own. However, Adani Group will probably want to use this cash to increase their holdings in the other smaller companies to take their stock prices up. They might just buy from the cash market, or they might come up with rights issues, or there could be many other mechanisms which are permitted by SEBI which could be deployed. $2 billion is not a big money for Adani Enterprises, but it could be a big money for the other companies, and let me show you. Adani Total Gas. If you see, equity capital 110 crores, reserves 3,800 crores. What is the borrowing? 1,457 crores. This stock has gone down a lot. Similarly, if you look at Adani Green, the equity capital is low, 1,584 crores only. Liabilities are high, 1 lakh crores, lot more than Adani Enterprises. What if they increase their stake in this company, because this company has huge potential? One more company is Adani Ports, but this is already a profitable company. If you see here, capital work in progress is here also, equity capital is low here also. There are reserves of 56,000 crore. The borrowings are 50,000 crores. Not a big deal. This company can sustain. The stock also, if you see, has not fallen a lot. So my feeling is that Adani Group will use this money to probably increase their stake, or at least use it as a mechanism to take the stock prices up for these red stock companies. Adani Ports and Adani Enterprises are doing fine. The day there is public news that Adani Enterprises had bought say 5% from the open market, these stocks will shoot up like anything. Don't use this information to buy stocks. This is only for educational purpose. I will see you tomorrow, but tomorrow because of New Year, the video may actually come out on first unless I am able to release it early.